Good morning, my name is Flo. We're going to do a half an hour morning practice, quite vigorous this morning, and it's going to be tailored to building inner resilience and strength. So we're going to be doing some core work around the cylindrical core, front of the abdominals, but also the sides, and particularly strengthening the back. So that in these adverse times, we can feel that has really got our back. Okay, so you might need a couple of props for your practice today, perhaps a blanket for Shavasana at the end, and then I'm going to be using a book as a prop to use instead of a brick. Okay, let's get to the mat. And just come and lie down on your backs first. And as you settle in, just taking a nice, slower, deeper breath in. If you know Ujjayi breath, bring some attention to the throat space, slightly narrowing, constricting the throat. So there's a feeling of threading the breath. And then with the knees bent and the feet hip width apart, we'll add a bit of movement to dynamic bridge. Inhale, reach the arms up, lift the hips. Take the arms back as far as is comfortable for you. And then slowly roll your spine back down as you exhale in time with movement. And we'll repeat a couple of times. Inhale, reaching up. And back down. One more like that. Inhale, reaching up. Now let's try and take the arms all the way back. And you can bend at the elbows, maybe in goalposts or cactus. And we'll take the feet as wide as the mat. So we'll just roll the knees from side to side in a nice little twist. Getting into the side hips, the side body, and what we call the external obliques. So you can really feel that maybe in towards the back, going in towards the paraspinals. And then just one more to the left. Come back to center and then just take your right leg on top of your left. We're actually going to take a little twist to the right. So the knees may not drop down towards the ground, but that's okay. And then staying and breathing into the whole front body. And I'm going to take a full rotation with my head looking to the left. Inhale, come back to center and switch top leg, left leg on the top of the right. And we'll just roll the knees over to the left. And I can really feel this on sort of the right corner of my hip, my T-band. Feels really nice. And if I drop a little bit more weight from the top leg into the bottom leg, that just really helps to get a little bit more stretch. And just breathe into that. Come back to center, hug the knees into your chest. We're going to rock up and down. So if you're okay with your back, just rocking up and down a little bit like a rocking horse. And then just hover as you come to sit, lifting your spine, stretching your arms and lifting the feet so that your shins are parallel to the mat. So this is boat pose Navasana. So gently draw the belly in, lift up through the crown, keep stretching through the arms. And then we're going to come into downward facing dog. So stepping back and walking your feet on the spot. And we'll just sway the hips from side to side. So as you shimmy the feet from side to side, almost like a kind of a slow windscreen wiper, keeping the hips up and back. Keep pressing into the ground with the hands that you can feel that your spine is lengthening up and back. And then come to stillness. And we'll just shorten the stride a moment. Take the left hand to the right ankle and then really root that right heel down. And just take a little twist here. Time to open up through the side body, keep reaching the hips up and back. And then we'll change sides. And then just turning towards the left and a little bit of a twist. And take the right leg back in the inhale and rock forwards towards a three-legged plank. So just letting that foot hover off the ground. Inhale here. And as you exhale, take your right knee to your right elbow. Inhale, draw back. We'll take the right knee to the right elbow again. Inhale, draw back. Right knee to left elbow, cross it over and hover. Inhale back to center and take the leg back. Very nice, good. So we're going to rock forwards towards a three-legged plank and slowly come down onto the ground. Chin down, slide the feet away. And we're going to come into Shalabhasana, locust. So this is a really good back strengthening. You can really feel the back muscles engage as we take the left arm forwards, keeping the right arm back, lift the right leg back and stretch and lengthen, and we'll switch. Take the left hand back, right arm forwards, keep lifting the left leg. And just think length here. This is not so much about range of motion, but a really lengthening opposite arm and leg, and we'll switch. And we'll switch. And again. And one more. And then bring the hands next to the shoulders and press your hips up and back. Come back to downward facing dog. Left leg lifts up on the inhale. Exhale, rock forwards, knee to elbow, and again reach back. Knee to elbow again. Inhale, reach back, and we'll change to opposite elbow. Come back to center. Inhale, reach back. Again, we'll flow forwards, so coming all the way onto the chest. Legs come down, slide the arms forwards, and we're into a forearm sphinx. So we're going to roll up on the exhale. Really grab the mat as you press away with forearms, and then tuck the toes. We come into a forearm plank. I'm going to hold it here for a couple more breaths. So really draw the lower belly in towards the belly button, but lengthen your tailbone back towards the space in between the heels. Take one more breath, and then as you exhale, lower the knees, thighs, belly, and then inhale, open the chest. Exhale, let's press back to downward facing dog. Right leg lifts up and back. I'm going to rock forwards, knee to nose. Inhale, reach back. Knee to same elbow. Inhale back. Knee to opposite elbow. Inhale back. And we'll just rock forwards again into a plank. So this time we'll take the arms all the way back for a full Shalabhasana. Lift everything up. So breathing in, just feeling those muscles engage. Keep lengthening the toes away so that the legs feel like they're really lengthening away from the hip sockets. Crown of the head is reaching forwards. Exhale, bring the palms down. And maybe this time you can push up. Inhale, left leg lifts back. Knee to your nose, rock forwards on the exhale. Inhale, leg reaches back. Exhale, knee to elbow. And we'll switch to the other side. Again, rocking forwards, coming down, sliding the arms forwards this time, forearm plank. And as you exhale, rolling up, tucking the toes and coming into your forearm plank. And we'll just hold it here. Keep lifting the head. Might be tempting to drop the head, but if you can, keep pressing through the forearms. Inner elbows draw in. Good. Exhale, knees down. Slide the hands back and you can push up. So really getting into the strength of those poses, and when you're ready, walking your feet to the top of the mat. Bring your hands to your shins, lift your back a little bit higher than normal in Ardha Uttanasana, and exhale, fold. And again, hands to your shins, inhale, halfway lift, exhaling, fold. And then we'll rise, inhale, rise. And let's just take a pause here, now that we've warmed up a little bit, to just reconnect to our intention. So reconnecting to the inner resilience of the breath, so keep breathing through the practice. We're going to sit down chair pose. And take the arms up. And stretch the hips back. So we've got the feet hip width apart in this round. So we're going to take the shoulders back. And then we're going to turn to the left. So as I turn towards you, hovering the right elbow just above the left knee, sitting the hips back, squeezing the palms together and lifting the chest. Inhale, come back to center. We're going to stay in the seat, draw the elbows back so the shoulders find a bit of space here, and literally rotate the chest, hovering the left elbow above the right knee. Good. Inhale, come back to center, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift.
Exhale, step back with your right leg. Come into Anjaneyasana, low lunge, reaching the arms up. Good, and we'll come into a little back bend here. So I'm going to take my left hand to the back of the pelvis, reach the right arm back and touch the right heel. I've curled the toes, and then I can reach the left arm back. Good, exhale, windmill the arms forwards, step back to plank. Downward facing dog, right leg lifts up and back. Let's rock forwards, knee to nose. We'll keep moving. Same knee, same elbow. And then other side, opposite elbow. Inhale, reach that right leg back, and as you exhale, step forwards, come into a high crescent lunge. So I'm going to sweep the arms all the way up. Spine is nice and vertical. Sink down into the hips a little bit, but lift up out of the waist. Very nice, good. Transition into warrior two. So back heel draws down, stretch the arms, and inhale, reverse. Warrior. Exhale, side angle supported. Inhale, let's flow. And exhale, side angle supported. Good, inhale, rise. And this time we'll come into the full side angle. So I'm going to use my Hatha Yoga Pradipika book and use it as a brick here to support on the inside of the foot. And then bringing my right hips underneath and then taking the top arm up and over. Keep pressing through the left foot and then reach through the left hip. Good, very nice. Now as we exhale, come into a wide-legged forward fold. So I'll just move my book. Lift up the toes of the right foot and walk the hands back. Bringing the crown of the head down. And you have a choice here maybe to come up into a tripod headstand if that's available for you. So pressing into the hands strongly and reaching the legs up. Let's stay for a few breaths. And once you're ready, take the legs wide, coming back down, lifting through the crown, walking the hands to the top of the mat and stepping back to downward facing dog. So I'm just going to pause there for a moment, reach the right leg up and back, step that forward, come into a low lunge, inhale. I'm going to take my right hand to the back of the pelvis and reach the left hand. So as I tuck the toes, I can reach the heel, reaching the right arm back. And as we exhale, spinning the hands forwards and stepping forwards to close that round. Hands to the shins, inhale, halfway lift. Fold on the exhale, rise on the inhale. Good, very nice. Let's repeat, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, step back with the left leg. So same thing, Anjaneyasana, we'll have the toes tucked this time. Reach the arms up, right hand behind the pelvis, left hand reaches the heel, right arm reaches back in a lovely back bend. And then we'll step back to downward facing dog. Very nice. Left leg lifts us up and back, and we'll rock forwards. And again, knee to same elbow. And then opposite elbow. And we'll come into a high crescent lunge, reaching the arms up. Come into warrior two on this side, and then reverse. And side angle, supported. So be careful not to drop all the way down. You want to keep elevated and lifted, legs nice and strong. Just spinning the top of the body and finding that lovely strength from the base, flexibility from the upper part. So we'll come into our supported. I'll use the book again, just to give myself a little bit more space. Top arm up and over. Good, and then again spinning around to face the long edge of the mat. I'll interlace my hands and come down this time, softening through the knees and looking up and back through the legs. There is an option here to do another headstand. You could do your traditional. You can bring the forearms down, crown of the head down onto the ground and lifting the hips up and stretching the legs all the way up. We'll hold here for a few breaths. So that's an option. If not, you'll stay in your forward fold with your hands clasped behind you. One more breath. And then let's release the legs down to the ground.
Lifting the chest, walking the hands forwards, and stepping back to downward facing dog. Take a moment here. Inhale, lift the left leg up and back, step it forwards. Anjaneyasana, we'll tuck the back toes, lift the arms. Left hand to the pelvis to support, right hand to the heel, lift the left arm back. And then we'll close this round, stepping forwards on the exhale. Hands to your shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhaling, fold. Inhale, let's rise all the way to stand. Exhale, hands to the heart. So we're going to go again and we'll just add a little bit more to the practice. So let's sit down chair pose. We'll bring the toes and the heels together. Sit down chair. And this time we'll twist to the right. This time we'll hook left elbow to the outside of the right knee. And as I draw my belly button away from the thigh, I'm going to reach top arm straight up to the sky, bottom arm down. And then inhale back to center. Sit down chair. Same thing on the other side. I'm going to hook that right elbow this time. Really spin the chest, open the arms. And exhale, come back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Stepping back with the right leg again. Coming into that Anjaneyasana back bend. So bringing the right hand back, left hand back. Hold the right heel. And spinning and coming into plank pose. So as we come into plank pose, pushing the ground strongly away, coming all the way down to the chest. This is Shalabhasana. Inhale, lift everything. And then coming into Sphinx pose. And then rolling all the way up. It's going to stay for a couple of breaths here. So really feeling that the front body's lifting and resisting gravity. And the back body's nicely engaged. So those quadriceps, the leg muscles are engaged. Heels are reaching back. Bring the knees down, roll it all the way down. Good. Slide the hands back, press up. Downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts up and back. Knee to your nose, rock forwards. Move with the breath. High crescent lunge. Step it forwards, reach the arms up. So we'll come into a little twist here. We'll add a twist to the right. So with the back leg extended, nice and straight, lifting that thigh. Very nice. Inhale back to center. Transitioning into warrior two, reversing. Side angle. And again, inhale. And exhale. This time I'm going to come all the way down and bind. So taking the arms through, spinning your chest open. Take a moment here. This time we'll keep the bind, lift the toes and come into a forward fold in the bind. So maybe head touches the ground, just stay for an extra breath. Inhale, lift, return back. We're going to step back through plank. Come all the way down, reach the arms back for Shalabhasana. Back to your Sphinx, rolling up, staying for an extra breath. Knees down, back to Sphinx, and pressing up, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts back. Exhale, stepping it forwards, Anjaneyasana, and then tucking the back toes, reaching the arm back to the pelvis, back bend, and then stepping forwards. Good. Hands to the shins, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, inhale, rise. So we'll do the same thing here, sitting down chair. I'm going to twist to the left. Arms open wide. Exhale, inhale. Good. As you exhale, sit down, reach the arms up on the inhale. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, arms open. Exhale, palms together, and as you inhale, rise. Folding forwards on the exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Left leg steps back. Anjaneyasana. And reaching the right hand back to support the pelvis. Left hand to the heel. Right arm reaches back. And we'll come into plank pose. All the way down onto the belly, Shalabhasana. Sphinx. And rolling it all the way up.
Knees down, rolling all the way back down, pressing back up. Left leg lifts up and back. So rocking forwards, knee to the nose. Opposite elbow. Coming into a high crescent. So as we come into high crescent on this side, reaching the arms up and coming into that twist. Welcome to open the arms here if you're finding that you're nice and steady. Good, and as you exhale, press the palms together. Inhale brings you up, we're into warrior two, and then we'll reverse. So side angle, same thing on this side. And again. So it's really getting the blood flowing this morning, which is brilliant. Have to keep moving and binding on this side. So again, as we bind, we're going to come into that forward fold in the bind. Extra breath. And then come back to center. Release the hands, stepping back through plank. Shalabhasana. Coming into Sphinx, rolling up. All the way down. Sliding the hands back. Lifting the left leg up and back. Stepping it forward for Anjaneyasana, curling the back toes. Good, very nice. So we're going to reach the hand to the pelvis, hand to the heel, left arm reaches back. And as we exhale, we come forwards. Hands to the shins, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, let's rise, all the way to stand. Exhale, hands to the heart. Okay, so we're going to combine two standing balancing poses. One of them is eagle, it's a real tourniquet pose, bringing the toes and the heels together. We'll transition into warrior three, using all the strength that we've built up in the practice. So the first thing is sit down in chair. Let's take the right arm underneath the left and the right leg on top of the left. For a moment, get into the hip flexion and just park your hips down and bring the shins forward. You can double wrap the legs. Great, if not, no worries. Now I'm going to come into eagle's nest, hugging the belly button back, lengthening the back body. This is really, really lovely. And eagle's nest is a pose that gives us perspective. We can look down the canyon, maybe seeing into the future, seeing the present and seeing the past. Now from here, sliding the top leg off, you're going to send that right leg back, opening the arms out like wings and just rolling that right hip down. So if you point the back toes down, that helps maybe to get a sense that the pelvis is level. Very, very nice. Take an extra breath here. Inhale, reach the arms forwards. We'll come back to Tadasana. Bring the hands to the heart. Let's do the other side. Sit down. So this time it's the left arm under, the left leg on the top. Squeeze everything together. Get into your eagle. And some of us might need to bring the right hip forwards, the left hip back. Try and even out through the knees. Lifting the forearms to get that stretch in the shoulders. Let's come into eagle's nest. Opening out here, coming into warrior three. So this is where all that lovely back strengthening comes into its own. You can really feel that same kind of sensation that we did when we did the forearm plank. Front body hugs into the back body. Good, and reaching the arms straight up. Tadasana, exhale, hands to the heart. Just take a moment to pause. We're going to bring it down a little bit. So we'll come into Malasana and we can take it into Bakasana Crow. So actually I'm going to flow. We'll keep the toes and the heels together, reach the heels up and sit down into a deep squat. Good. Now from here, as you connect your elbows to the knees, hug the belly button away, bring the hands down and lean forwards quite a bit. So with the toes together, you can really squeeze the heels and the toes. Keep pressing the floor away, looking straight down into the mat in front of you. Keep squeezing and then coming down. So let's come into Supta Konasana. So Baddha Konasana. Let's take the toes into the palms, interlace the fingers. start to steady the breath, bringing it down. Deep breath in and deep breath out. So feel like you can breathe up the central column of your spine, energizing the central energy channel known as Sushumna Nadi, connecting into the prana. And have a sense that as you exhale, that you're really grounded. You can feel the connection to the earth. So we'll come into Janu Shishasana, which is head to knee. And I'm just going to keep the right knee bent in, show you from the side. And reach the arms up. We're going to come into a twist first. This is really, really nice. You get a lovely rotation in the spine. And then we'll come forwards over that leg. I quite like to come into it incrementally. Oftentimes when we just come straight down, we kind of lurch ourselves down, there's nowhere to go. But I find that if you just draw that femur bone back and root the opposite hip down, lift up through the spine. Deep breath, and as you exhale, slowly walking the fingertips forwards. And again, inhale, lift. Exhale, walk the fingertips forwards. And again, inhale. So we find that we can get in a little bit further. I'm actually going to use my book here to press the sole of the foot to see if I can get a little bit more grounding there. That's quite a deep hamstring stretch, by the way. Relax the shoulders back away from the ears. And really soften and deepen the breath. This is what really expands the pose and allows the pose to feel dynamic. Good. And then rising up. Let's bring the soles of the feet together again. Take a breath. And then other side. So really prepare yourself. If you needed to, and the knee was drawing up, you could use your book to support it there. And inhale, reach the arms up. We'll come into the twist to the other side. Very nice. So again, coming forwards, taking time. And just bringing the hands where it feels comfortable. Rooting the pelvis down, lifting through the spine. And then as we exhale, coming forwards incrementally. Good. Inhale, lift. There's a kind of dual action of drawing the long bones of the legs back, but reaching the spine forwards, coming down. I actually might use my book again. That felt really nice, just to really root. Bringing the elbows down. Hugging the femur bone back, making sure that pelvis doesn't have to be completely square here. You might find that the left hip draws back. That's fine. That'll be totally fine. There's so many variations of this pose. But it's best to feel like you're contained at the base. One more breath. Very nice, good. Rising up. And we'll release the legs into Dandasana. And as we walk the hips back, you'll notice the hip flexion is going to help this pose coming up. And this is Paschimottanasana. So I'm going to spin the inner thigh bones down towards the ground and back a little bit. Feel the hip points on the ground and then reach forwards. So you might take the toes here, you can hold your shins, doesn't really matter. But wherever you can reach, inhale, lift. And then bowing down, elbows wing out to the side here. It might be that you get your book again, and this time holding that onto the balls of the toes. It's a very deep stretch in the back. I can really feel that along the glutes, lower back. I'm just going to stay and breathe for a couple more breaths. And soften. Very nice. Just feels good to move with the breath. Excellent, good. Let's set the book to the side and come and lie down onto the back. Hugging the knees in. I'm going to finish off the way we started. So inhale, lifting the hips up and back, little dynamic bridge. Exhale, roll down. And again, inhale, up. Back down. Good. This time, if the hips stay, roll the upper arm bones under. Really press into the feet. And we want to keep the joints aligned. So you want to feel that there's a connection between the heels and all the way up into the back of the shoulders, shoulder heads. Good. I'm pressing through four corners of the feet, lifting the inner arches.
And that's really helping to engage the back body strongly. So all that strength we've built up, really feel it in this pose now. And then release and let go. I'm rather liking that windscreen wiper twist. I'm going to take the arms back, feet as wide as the mat, roll the knees. Let's finish in a pose that brings some kind of equilibrium, synchronicity between the right and the left side. So happy baby is a lovely one to end up on. You can rock from side to side. Massaging into the back, that feels so lovely. Good, and we're ready for our Shavasana. So I have ready here a blanket which I'm going to roll behind the knees. Stretch the legs. Got another blanket here to just place over. And we'll just stay for a few minutes, just settling in and just letting the whole practice melt into the body. Around 8 rounds of breath. So Shavasana is such an important pose. When we lie still, we can absorb the whole practice. It just melts in to the sinews, the joints, the bones, muscles, ligaments, all the way down into the muscle fibers, and deep down energetically into the cellular level. Really absorbing all the yoga wisdom from the poses, all the physiological, emotional, psychological effects of those poses into the nervous system, all the systems of the body. You can just feel that melting in. So we'll close the practice together, bending the knees, rolling onto the side. Slowly come up to sit. So I hope you feel a little bit more awake and a little bit more alive, and that you enjoyed this vigorous morning practice. Thanks so much. Namaste. May you build your resilience and your strength over the coming days in these adverse times. Namaste.